What's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty Gym, EGTV, and we're back again with another video. I got my boy. What's going on? What's wrong with the sound?
I only saw a 10 flying around. Something bugged out with your.
Okay, my bad, guys. Anyways, as you guys know, we're back again on EGTV. We're with the boys. We're with Husam AK Allen. Daps is in the house. Mojo's in the house. And today we're going to be discussing the Champions League final. Obviously, Real Madrid have won their 14th Champions League. Liverpool have dropped off in the last hurdle and lost by a crushing 1-0 deficit. And you know what? It was a crazy game, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into everything. Tell us what you thought about the game, guys. Did the right team win? Did Real Madrid deserve it on the night? And I really do think they
doesn't matter.
I really think Real Madrid.
It doesn't matter.
Based on the fact that they went against Chelsea, Manchester City, and Liverpool, they faced the best three teams in the Premier League based on this season's table, and they took them all out. We have to have our questions about the Premier League. We're going to talk about Liverpool, this team that had a chance to get a quad, which Husam, you did say was unrealistic, dropped off at the last hurdle, lost the league, lost the Champions League, and only finished with the 2 trophies.
Is it just me, or does Husam's body look like it's perfectly over Mohamed Salah? Like, it looks like Salah's body, and then the top part is Husam's head.
Nearly. Just needs to be
if he moves a little bit to the side, it's going to be perfect.
Let me make my screen.
Anyways, what are we saying, guys? You want to start off, Husam? Tell us what you thought about the game yesterday.
Yeah, I don't mind. Listen, look, going into the game, I said 3 key things that we need to do. I said we need to take our chances against Real Madrid. I think that's something that we should have learned from the games against Chelsea, PSG, and City, that when you get chances against Madrid, you better take them. I don't think we took our chances. We had opportunities, 9 shots on target, 0 goals. So second thing is, I spoke about the midfield battle. We lost the midfield battle, clearly lost the midfield battle as well. And I spoke about Benzema and Vinicius. And to be fair, I think we did limit Benzema and Vinicius to an extent up until the goal happened. But, you know, it is disappointing. Look, this season, once again, I've said that we do need to win the Premier League or the Champions League for it to be a successful season. So I won't sit up here and say it's a successful season. I'm already fighting my fan base, calling it a fantastic season, an amazing season. I have no idea what the fuck they're on about, if I'm being honest. But, you know, I digress. I'm going to get into the Husam Gunner stuff later on. But anyway, the game, for me personally, finals are there to win. Finals are not there to play football. So it's not about being the better team. It's about winning. We didn't win. Madrid won the tie. And here we are, man. Here we are, runners-up in the 2 big boy competitions. And we did win the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. Scoring no goals in 3 finals is inexcusable. I think yesterday, I'm not going to scapegoat any players. I think all of them were shit bar Konate. Konate was the one player that can come out and say, I gave it my all. I played 10 out of 10. I think the rest of them, genuinely, all of them had bad moments in the game. People are focused about talking about Trent. I thought Trent overall was solid. He actually defended well throughout the game, if I'm talking about the prism of the game. But of course, for that moment, he should be doing better. Virgil van Dijk's defending as well has to be questioned for the goal. Andy Robertson, once again, a lot of people's favorite left back. You know, I spoke on him before, and here we are. So, look, overall, I have no complaints. I'm not going to sit here and be hypocritical just because we were the better team on the night. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, it's about who lifts the trophy. We didn't lift the trophy. And congratulations, Real Madrid. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. And now, this immediately, as soon as the Champions League final ends, becomes the biggest summer in FSG history. So, yeah.
Boom, guys! Let us know how you guys are feeling in the chat. If you're a Liverpool fan, commiserations. If you're a rival fan, how are you feeling? And you guys know I always go to AK Allen Dabs. Let's start it with Mojo this time because he's always the guy just waiting, sitting back, relaxed. Mojo, I seen you giving a lot of smoke to Liverpool fans. Tell us how you really feel, bro.
Bro, we need to say it as it is, man. I like the fact that Liverpool fans are trying to. Husam, I'll be fair to you. I think you're calling it as it is. You're saying the season as a whole has been a failure, despite you winning the FA Cup and the League Cup. I think at the end of the day, with the squad that you have, with the manager that you have, with the fact that you call yourselves the best team in the world, and pundits can't wait to call that to Liverpool, despite what happened this season. And I think it's very fair to say that it's not about who was the best team just based on the fact that who had more of the ball, who had more of the chances. This was the type of game that Real Madrid needed to play in this game. They were not going to outmaneuver Liverpool in terms of having more possession. They weren't necessarily going to create more chances because at the end of the day, we all know what Liverpool's pressing does to teams and how much it suffocates them. And the fact of the matter is, more of the game was played in Real Madrid's half, especially in that first half. And if there was any chance for Liverpool to win that game, it needed to happen that first time. They were suffocating Real Madrid. And as the game kind of went on after like 30 minutes or so, I felt like Real Madrid found their foot. They started to find a little bit more comfortability. They started to control the midfield. They started to feel defensively more solid. They were starting to feel more comfortable playing out from the back. They were just lacking in that final third, in particular in that first half, in terms of penetrating Liverpool. After that, for me, the second half was all Real Madrid. I don't care what anybody has got to say about this. Real Madrid, if they had just better decision-making, would have had more than one shot on target. The fact of the matter is that offside goal that got given, in my opinion, what a shit rule that is, because clearly it's inconsistent, because Giroud last year was given a goal and against Atletico Madrid. In the same scenario, that defender did not mean to flip and give it back to Olivier Giroud, but Giroud got the ball and managed to do an overhead kick and give us the lead against Atletico Madrid. But somehow in this final, we've decided that's not actually the case. So it's very strange. I don't understand sometimes where these rules pop up from and how, in what context they'd like to use them in. But I felt like Benzema was robbed out of that goal, in my opinion. At the end of the day, we have to say it as it is. Real Madrid deserve to win the Champions League. They beat the best three teams in England. They've also beaten PSG, and they did so deservedly. They played to their strength, and they need to be told that they are the champions deservedly. What I am not having from people is pundits or any other Liverpool fans saying we were the better on the night and all of this stuff. Sorry, just because you have the ball don't mean you're the better team. Just because you've created chances doesn't mean you were the better team. At the end of the day, Real Madrid had to play their game, and their game was to actually make you suffocate. And you know what? I think they did a brilliant job at being able to do that. They really limited what type of chances Liverpool were able to have. With that being said, in my opinion, let's not hide behind this. This squad, in my opinion, in the last 7 years, for the amount of trophies you would expect from a club that is being touted as the way they are, in my opinion, they have underachieved and they continue to underachieve. In my honest opinion, a famous man once said about Arsenal Football Club and Arsene Wenger, he called them specialists in failure. We now have specialists in failures, and it's Liverpool. The only difference is somehow we are rewarding them for being second place and getting to finals.
Damn.
Let's be frankly honest. Any other team, we cuss them out, guys. Any other team, we literally ridicule them for not getting the job done, except for Liverpool for some reason. Well done, Liverpool. You know, you were only a point behind, blah, blah. Nah, man, they're not kids. They're supposed to do their job, guys. This is what these guys are getting paid to do. This is what Jurgen Klopp is here to do. This is what these players are getting paid to do, to win trophies, to write their names in history books. And in my opinion, there have been more failures than there have been successes at Liverpool Football Club. And it's a shame that Liverpool fans have to put up with this shit. So let's call it what it is. It's specialist in failure. And I don't think any Liverpool fan should be happy about this. I'm calling it as it is, man. I don't care.
You want to know something? The moment
If this is what Mo's on next year, then goddamn.
the moment,
No,
the
no,
moment,
bro, if it's my team, I'm calling it out too, bro. Don't get me wrong.
The moment you said specialist in failure and football wars, I don't know if a lot of people were listening or not, or like people were listening, but they started pulling up numbers on other managers and their records, and it's crazy.
I don't know why they do it, bro. I'm sorry, you can't cover this up, man. When you have a Liverpool squad that is with so many world-class players, a manager that we consider world-class, they have got to win the big stuff, man. Pep is walking this league. Liverpool have won one Champions League and been to three finals, of which they've lost two of them. We've got to talk about it. If I want to add a Europa League final onto that, Jurgen Klopp has lost the most. Bro, it's not good enough. I don't know how else we're going to call this, but for what Liverpool Football Club is actually supposed to be capable of with the players that they have, guys, if we're going to call them the best team in the world, they need to be winning everything, guys. And they're not. They're simply not, bro.
Please smash a like for Mojo right now, please. Smash a like
Big
to
up
Mojo.
people. Yo, Mojo, I didn't realize you had so much disdain for Liverpool, man. Crazy.
It's not about disdain, bro. It's calling it what it is, bro. If Chelsea Football Club is in that same position, if Manchester United is in that same position, you call it out, bro. I called Man United fans last year who were trying to tell me finishing second place was progress. Husam knows this. Husam has seen me call out Man United Football Club and tell them that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done nothing for your club but make it seem like it's okay to finish second place when Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in this country, one of the biggest clubs in the world, should not be finishing second. I tell this to people all the fucking time, bro. I don't like standards to be put down for clubs that are supposed to be held in a certain regard. My club included. I'm not going to be here telling you third place is good enough for us. I told you, look, this season for my club is a failure because from my perspective, it's not. I don't expect them to actually win the league, but I expect them to show a better showing than we did. If I contextualize it and explain the reasons for you, guess what? I can make it seem like it's okay to finish third. I still think Liverpool and Man City are better than us, but I still expect a better job from our side. And I called it out. Liverpool need to be called out, bro. I don't know why we do this with them, where we say second place is good enough, bro. Because if Man City was in that same position, guys, guess what? We'd be cussing them. Literally, we'd be cussing them. But for some reason with Liverpool, people want to take it easy. And it's the pundits in particular for me that piss me off, bro. I don't know where this stance comes from, where we like to say Liverpool, you know what? They're the darlings of this place. They play beautiful stuff. Guys, they're failing. They're not winning shit, bro. What is going on? Why are they not winning the stuff they need to be winning, bro? That's what they will be judged on.
You're on
You're
mute,
on
Egal.
mute, Egal, man. If you're
Egal,
gonna
I
do
think
this,
he just said smash a
if
like.
you're gonna
He just said smash a
do
like
this
if you
YouTube
watch it.
thing, Egal, you need to come off mute.
Yo, I'm trying to get copyright strike by setting something up. Anyways,
Okay,
listen,
come on.
we're going to talk about Liverpool a lot. I also want to say
Damn, boy.
I also want to discuss Real Madrid also. So, but before we go to the Real Madrid, AK, you're going to say something about Liverpool?
Absolutely, I've got a lot to say, but it's only right we started off correctly first of all, and I've been singing this chant for the last 24 hours because it's honestly my favorite thing in football.
Not mine though. I'm not gonna lie. It's not mine.
Hassam, don't turn your camera off. I wanted to be here for this. So
if you don't see what I think it is, it's still like I'm not.
You don't know the chorus. Neither, if you know the chorus, you can join in. But yeah, listen, I'm gonna take this one because I don't care. All the way to Paris.
Oh.
To end up in defeat. Crying in the stands, stranded in the streets. Salah missed his chances, victims of it all. Sterling won the league, and the Scassers won fuck all.
Ale, ale, ale. Ale, ale, ale.
Listen,
ale, ale. Come on, Husam, get involved, mate.
Oh man,
I have a few things to say about this game, and I'm not really here to troll or to take the piss. Let's actually have a conversation. First things first. I'm gonna concentrate. I'm gonna concentrate on a few players because there's a few players that I need to speak about. But before I get to them, the overall performance in that first half, and I've said this since yesterday, I think that goal that got disallowed at the end of the first half ruined Liverpool, in my opinion. I think that moment there when that ball went in the back of the net and they had to wait 3 minutes to find out whether it was a goal or not.
Oh, that was a long time, innit? Yeah,
I think that absolutely killed them. They came out in that second half and they were so wary of that one pass that Madrid needed to play to get in behind them that all of a sudden they weren't pressing or they weren't pushing on Madrid the way they were in that first half. And I think that played a part because when the second half started, that's when we saw what real midfielders are about. We saw the best in the business, Ballon d'Or winners, 5-time Champions League winners do what they do in that midfield. Kroos and Modric and Casemiro put in an absolute masterclass in that second half, bro. Specifically Modric. Bro, this guy they need to speak about him in when you mention the Xavis and the Iniestas.
He is now, though. He is. I think
he is the realm he's in.
Yeah, he is.
That is the realm he's in. When people talk about the highest table that midfielders sit on, Modric is on that table.
But I swear he's won a Ballon d'Or, bro. He has won a Ballon d'Or.
Yes,
and I swear Xavi and Iniesta haven't.
It's not even just the Ballon d'Or. He's
but it is relevant.
Yeah, he's just that good. If you go look at the goal that they scored, that all started from a piece of brilliance by Luka Modric. A reverse pass while facing his own goal took 3 Liverpool players out the game. And then it was Carvajal who played it into Casemiro, plays a long ball out to Valverde, and then Van Dijk starts to twerk and put his legs up for some reason instead of closing out on the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold falls asleep in the back. Let's keep it real. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I've seen one of my centre backs do that exact same thing where they lift their back leg and they start shaking their ass, and the next day on Twitter everyone's ruining them.
Never catch Vincent Kompany do that in his life.
Sorry,
You'll never
but when
catch
we
Vincent
talk about the
Kompany doing
greatest
that.
defenders in this league,
They don't
when
do
we
that.
talk about the
Facts.
Terrys, when we talk about the Rios, when we talk about the Stams, when we talk about them and there, they face that ball. You do not
That's a
turn
fact.
away. You do not turn away from that ball and put up a hand, put up your leg, bro. I'm so sorry. Trent Alexander-Arnold, nothing new. We always knew he has the attention span of a fucking hamster, bro. Especially when it comes to defending, he cannot stay alert. We've seen it so many times. He cannot stay alert. And what did he do? When he was at the halfway line, he glanced back once. He saw Vinicius was there, and from the halfway line until the 6-yard box, he didn't look back once. Didn't open his body, didn't position himself correctly, just carried on running towards his goal like that's going to achieve anything. So, again, if you look at that goal, it was horrible defending by Liverpool, but it was a piece of brilliance by Real Madrid. Modric first, then Casemiro, then Valverde, and Vinicius finishing it off. It was beautiful. Now, moving on from the goal, there's a few Liverpool players that I need to speak about. You won't like it because I know a lot of people love these players, but I'm going to say what I think. And if you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. The first person we need to speak about is that Colombian St. Maxin on the left wing, bro, because that man there does absolutely nothing but do a couple of stepovers here and there, try and cut in and pretend to be Coutinho and think he can put it in the top bins. This man is like, it's the epitome of all flair and no end product. What is the point of you doing 700 stepovers in a game, you taking on 6 men in the space of 40 seconds, if you cannot pass the ball correctly at the end of that phase of play, or if you can't cross the ball in, or if you can't shoot and put the ball in the back of the net? I've heard the hype about this guy, and the worst one was after the FA Cup final. Everyone sat there after the FA Cup final, and even in this panel, everyone was saying, oh, Diaz, so good. He was phenomenal. He was brilliant. Yes, he was good. He's not a bad footballer. He's a very good footballer, furthermore. But the problem is, all he did in that game against Chelsea in the FA Cup was do 2 stepovers, cut in, and try and put the ball top bins. You want to know a fact? He went 7 for 0. He had 7 attempts at the exact same shot, and he didn't have 1 on target. Not a single one. So again, when we talk about these players, let's put it into context. Now, another person that I want to speak about is Thiago Alcazam, because he started to bother me as well. The problem, this is the issue I have with him.
What?
His name is his name. This is the problem I have with him now. The problem with him is when you play against the likes of McTominay and Matic and you put up a 9 out of 10, and all of a sudden all these Liverpool fans start calling you the best midfielder in the world, and they start calling you the next whatever, or this whatever. Let's keep it very, very real, guys. His time at Liverpool Football Club has been a complete and utter failure. He's been an absolute bum in his time. I don't care if he wasn't fit. What's he doing on the pitch if he wasn't fit? The guy spends more time not fit than fit, bro. Availability is the best ability. And if you're not available and you're picking up injuries, warming up for a final every single time, then I don't care for you, bro. I'll be real. I do not care for you. So Thiago Alcantara puts in 1 game against Manchester United, and all of a sudden Liverpool fans have him in the realm of some of the best midfielders that are active right now. And I sat there and I laughed. Because every other game you watch him play, he did not perform to that level. And I thought I was crazy for a second. So I went and I looked at it and I thought, yo, maybe I'm a bit mad here and I'm tunnel vision and I can't see past the good performances. So I went back and I looked at it. The best performance he has put in this season was against Manchester United. And SofaScore rated that performance an 8.2. Fair enough, okay. I looked at all his other performances. It was his only performance this season where he's hit above an 8. Now, just to give you guys an example, do you guys want to know who else got an 8 point something against Man United this year? Do you guys want to you want to really hear it?
Go on in.
John McGinn had an 8.3 against Manchester United. Ruben Neves had an 8.4 against Manchester United. Bissouma dropped an 8.3 against Manchester United. Granit Xhaka dropped an 8.0 against Manchester United. This is the level that we're talking about. When you're playing against Man United, of course, they're shit. Go, well done. But when you're playing against the big boys, when you're playing against actual midfielders that know how to play the game of football, we all saw what happened in that second half last night, bro. He was absolutely bullied. He was bullied off that ball, bro. absolutely bullied off that ball. Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro had him, Thiago, and whoever else was in that midfield, Henderson, chasing shadows in that second half. And that's what happens when good footballers step on the pitch. So those are the two players that I wanted to point out. I know you lot won't like it. You probably won't agree, but that is my opinion on them. Now, on to Real Madrid. Thibaut Courtois is incredible. Now, I'm not going to sit here again, and I'll be lying if I sat here and I said I was calling him incredible before the game, because I wasn't. I don't know what he's been on this season. I watched him in the Champions League, and I watched him, do you know what I'm saying, have a couple of howlers in terms of playing out from the back, have a couple of howlers in terms of saves, and I didn't think much of him. But yesterday, when he came out after the game and he said, England needs to put some respect on my name, he meant it, bro. This man went.
But why is he saying that, man? He's a bit arrogant.
Bro, I'm so sorry. When you have the biggest pundits in England, Daps, disrespecting you on TV, you have to speak out, bro. And yesterday he put in a performance worthy of him coming out and saying what he said. He put in that performance. Was good.
I just don't like him in it. I just don't like. I hear it.
Let me land it out. That performance is, yeah, they were slandering him before the game as well, talking about him.
Oh, Michael Owen.
They were saying he's gonna get Owen and Rio. They were talking hella shit. Yeah, they were talking hella shit as well.
Are you talking about Michael Owen?
No, Owen is forget Owen. Owen is a dickhead. He don't know what.
Even Liverpool fans don't like him.
This is why Michael Owen.
I know. He should not be.
Michael Owen. This is why United fans don't like you. Liverpool fans don't like you. Newcastle fans don't like you. No one likes you. This is why no one likes you. And whoever made Michael Owen Liverpool club ambassador needs to get sacked on the spot right now. Sack him right now. This man is the most idiotic human being I have ever listened to talk football. You go into a final against Real Madrid and say Liverpool are going to win by 4? Are you stupid? Who has paying you to become a pundit? Wallahi, pay us to be pundits on BT. We'll give better information than him.
Before we move away, I just want to finish off what I was saying real quick. Thibaut Courtois in that Madrid team was phenomenal yesterday. No one could take that past him. You look in that Madrid team yesterday, their two centre-backs, I think, had an incredible game. Liverpool got behind them a few times or whatnot, but specifically, not Alaba, but what's his name? Militao. Eden Militao yesterday was putting his body on the line for everything that was happening on that pitch. Carvajal, absolutely brilliant.
Virgil.
Carvajal, absolutely brilliant. That midfield, I don't need to speak about them. We all know what that midfield is capable of. They might have a combined age of 97, but if they carry on playing football, they'll have a combined Champions League count of 50 very soon, bro. Wow. And you look at that attack, they didn't do much going forward yesterday, but it's the efficiency and the fact that they had one shot on target and they put that ball in the back of the net. Like let's make they had one shot on target and that ball ended up in the back of the net. That is called efficiency. For a team that we were all saying before the game, including me as well, that we were all saying before the game, they're going to concede, they have to outscore Liverpool. They scored and they held that Liverpool team out. Now, a couple more facts before I hand over, because I feel like I've been talking too long. First,
you actually have been.
I'm still gonna land. I don't mind. I'm still gonna.
You got shit to do, bro. Come on, hurry up, Habibi.
Got 10 to be
24th minute. I spoke for 4 minutes, Mojo 4. You've been talking for 17 minutes already.
And you know what? I'll speak for another 16 just to get my point across.
Unless we get 70 likes, he's going to keep going.
And yo, guys, you're at 160.
What are you without the mute button, AK? What are you?
I will still carry on speaking. It doesn't make a difference.
While you're at it, can you read this?
We're live on YouTube.
Big up for channeling your inner 14-year-old. Big up.
Big up, Doc LFC. He said we have a table with 3 legs, no balance in the midfield. I can't lie to you. I'm not hearing that as well, because a few weeks ago you lot were telling us about NFT, and the week before that you lot were telling us about how what's his name, Thiago is the best midfielder in the world and Fabinho is the best centre back, is the best CDM in the league and in the world or whatnot. So again, these are all post whatever's happened excuses, and I'm not hearing them because you guys weren't saying this before the game. You can't come to me after the game and tell me these players aren't good enough. You should have told me that beforehand when I was telling you. But anyways, moving on. I meant
80, by the way, with the likes. I meant 80. So
a couple of facts for you lot. They want me to be quiet, you know that so badly. A couple of facts for you lot. Mohamed Salah, 11th final, no non-penalty goals.
You're gonna talk about him.
No, I'm gonna say what I need to say. You can have your segment. I'm gonna say what I need to say, bro. 11 finals and 0 non-penalty goals. The man sat there on BT Sports with his big head and decided that he could call out Real Madrid and say, revenge, blah 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 blah. What revenge, bro? You came there, you had your chances, and you flopped. Go to bed. I honestly hope he went to bed crying last night because he deserves it. And you know who another one that deserves to go to bed crying is that fucking pussy or Harvey Elliott as well, bro.
Whoa.
He sat there on TV. He sat there on TV and said a couple of years ago and said, "Oh, I don't like Real Madrid. Or I will never go to Madrid because I went there one time as a kid and I dropped my calippo on the floor and it became all sandy, so I would never go to Madrid. Like Madrid would want you in the first place, bro." And then he came back. Then he came back and said, "What did he say?
Calippo was shit anyway.
As a fan, I want to get revenge for what happened last year. Blah blah blah. You will never touch the pitch in a final to get revenge in the first place, bro. Know your role and stop talking." Is when bench players start talking like first team starters is when the world starts to go mad, bro. And the last person that I need to call out is this fucking Jurgen Klopp guy. Now, whether Sam likes it or not, he is now officially the biggest loser in European Cup final history. There is no bigger loser than him when it comes to European Cup finals. This man has lost 4 European finals. That's more than most managers win in their lifetime, bro. And he's lost that many.
I mean, salute him for getting there, maybe though.
But I'm getting there. Second place medals that we're giving out now, Daps.
I mean,
and the last.
Well, Alan would take a few, to be fair.
And you know what it is? I'm going to end on this. Liverpool.
Damn right I would.
Some Liverpool fans have. I've actively heard Liverpool fans.
This guy's still talking.
I will carry on talking. I've not heard Husam say.
We're not 70 or 80 yet.
I've heard Liverpool fans say. I've heard Liverpool fans say in Twitter Spaces, and when we're trolling Arsenal and taking the piss out of them, they've come in there and said, "Oh, is this the same football club that was hosting parades for FA Cups?" Well, newsflash to you lot. You guys shut down the streets of Liverpool today, stopped people from going to church and made them late, so you guys could walk around with 2 open-top buses carrying a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, and the second division women's title. Not even the first division.
We're going to be second. Are you going to be second?
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care.
He said second division. What sex is the
promotion is massive, bro. You saw what.
And congratulations to them. I've never seen anyone hold a parade for a promotion in my life. So as I was saying, that is the state of Liverpool.
You have never seen a parade for a promotion. That's a lie.
Liverpool Football Club, the biggest losers, the biggest pretenders in Premier League history. This team will go down and no one will care about them in 10 years' time because they did not achieve enough. Simple as that. You can tell me how dead United are. I don't care. It was about the Champions League final and I'll say what I want to say. There you go, Egal.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Get up, let's go pray, everyone. My man gave a whole Friday khutbah that you could have listened to a 14-year-old on a Twitter space summarize in 60 seconds. So it's the same rhetoric.
Hey,
listen, Luis,
One
sec, Egal.
Go ahead.
Luis Diaz, I've already called him out. I said he needs to work on his final action. I've said this 100 times. Luis Diaz is not someone that I haven't criticized. It's the people who all they give a fuck about is technical ability.
So why is there a problem when I criticize him then?
They just talk about. I've never said that. I said there's people who talk about technical ability. That's all they care about, as how someone dribbles. That's the people who will never criticize him. And when it comes to Thiago, I will excuse Thiago, yes, because he has just come back from an injury. Probably had 7 injections. I'm not looking at Thiago for this game. There are other people I have to look at before I look at him. And finally, the thing is about the parade. They planned it before. We weren't able to parade the Premier League because of the COVID situation. So let them celebrate with the fans. I saw the parade today. It was absolutely fantastic parade. The turnout was amazing. The flares, the vibes, the atmosphere was absolutely incredible. So I have no problem with that either. And finally, the thing on the trophies, I've already said we have underachieved and have to rectify this transfer window. So it's just too agenda driven, bro. And also the problem is just
nothing I stated was an agenda there. It was all
okay, 1 second. The one thing I will say though is that the massive hypocrisy from all the Premier League fans is as follows. If I were to ask them, and I know Alan's going to come off mute, I'm talking about in general. It's not. This doesn't include you. If I were to ask 99% of Premier League fans who's the greatest ever Premier League player they've seen, they'll tell me it's Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry did not score a goal full stop in 9 finals. Never mind open play, non-open play.
But you see, your hypocrisy there. You just said in the Premier League.
Sam, then in that case, you need to watch the way you speak on De Bruyne. Just hold
on.
1 second.
You said the best player in the Premier League, and then you went to talk about finals. Is there finals in the Premier League?
AK, you spoke for 18 minutes. You can't interrupt me in 15
Sam,
seconds.
you can't say hypocrisy and then be a hypocrite in the same sentence.
Okay, let me. You will not understand my point. People will say the greatest Premier League player. We're Premier League fans here. We're not talking La Liga.
Confederation
People
Cup
will say the
counts.
greatest Premier League player ever is Thierry Henry.
It is Thierry
You're talking about non-penalty goals. Thierry Henry in 9 finals, scored 0 goals. Whether it's penalty, whether it's non-penalty, yet people still don't, undo his greatness. So just the fact that he doesn't score in finals, plus you're sat here talking about as if you care about the final he played with Al-Maqawilun Al-Arab or the final he played with Basel or whatever. Like, come on, come off it, man. That thing for me, if I was to talk about final goals, Divock Origi probably has more final goals than maybe 99% of the people.
Let's talk about Divock Origi.
No, Egal.
One second, bro. One second. First of all, the Henry statement is factually incorrect. He did score in a confederation. What is that? What is that trophy?
Oh my God! You're gonna take Confederations Cup. Stop.
When you win the World Cup and you go into that,
that's like me counting the Community Shield.
Okay, whatever. Next, also, if you want to talk about Divock Origi's clutchness, that's the last time somebody has scored a non-penalty goal under Jurgen Klopp in a cup final. The last cup final goal you guys have is in 2019 when Divock Origi scored in that Champions League final. So if you're gonna flaunt it, I understand.
And it's going to AC Milan as well.
And can I just say, Husam, I just find it crazy when you talk about when we say Thierry Henry is the greatest player, the best player to ever play in this league. That is the Premier League. And I don't know what Champions League finals, FA Cup finals, and Carabao Cup finals have to do with, or World Cup finals have to do with the Premier League. But as far as this league that we watch is concerned, Henry is the best player to ever step into it, bro, whether you like it or not. That has nothing to do with finals.
I don't disagree with that.
The last time I checked, we don't play finals in the Premier League.
No, but AK, you're not.
No. Let me land.
Well, you're arguing something I'm not arguing.
Yeah, absolutely, I'm not, because you told me
you're saying something I'm not saying.
Husam, you just said to me, Husam, Henry has no goals in finals. So why does that not affect his legacy? I'll tell you why it doesn't. Because when we call him the best player to play in the Premier League, there is no finals. I agree with. There is no finals to affect his legacy. In the Premier League, he is the greatest. Simple as that.
But AK cannot do that.
Now, if you want to talk about Henry's legacy overall, absolutely. And you've heard me say this before, Husam, so I don't know why you're moving nuts. Every time we talk about Henry, but I'm saying you've heard me say this. I know I said
99% of the people.
I know you're not talking about me, but I'm saying you've heard me say
this. He's not talking about me either, man.
When we talk about Henry,
I know I've heard you say it. You have had arguments about Henry in finals. I've heard you say it. My point was very simple. When we're saying who's the greatest player we've seen in the Prem, I agree it's Thierry Henry. I agree. I'm not putting forth anyone else. My point is, even though Henry did not score in 9 finals, that does not make him any less of a player. So Mo Salah has not scored a non-penalty goal now because penalties don't count. But he has not scored a non-penalty goal in blah 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 blah. Fine, you're correct, no problem. But that doesn't take away from any of the great. Because even if you look at contextualized stuff, in the finals we've played under Jurgen Klopp anyway. Carabao Cup, no one scored. FA Cup, no one scored. Champions League final, he scored the penalty and Origi scored the other one. What was the other one? We got to a Super Cup final. In the Super Cup final, he actually had a fantastic game. Mane scored twice, but he had a fantastic game that day. The game in the Club World Cup against Flamengo, he assisted Firmino's goal that won us the game 1-0. So once again, if you contextualize it, it's not as bad. And plus, Mo Salah yesterday had our most dangerous opportunities. So if I was to talk about the forward that was the worst forward on the pitch, the worst forward on the pitch from both teams was Luis Diaz.
You can read the super chat in a second. Husam, that is the point that you just made there. When you said he's got our best chances and whatnot in the finals, this man in finals cannot do what he does against Brighton, against Manchester United, against Watford, against Newcastle,
against Man City, against Chelsea.
He cannot do that when the lights are on, the stakes are high, and you walk away with a trophy. He struggles under
that's
the light.
A false premise already.
It's absolutely not, because yesterday
because the lights are on against Man City as well.
And if you're telling me the pressure against
the most watched game in football is Liverpool.
One second. If you're telling me the pressure of playing against Manchester City in the Premier League is the same as the pressure of playing against Real Madrid in the Champions League final or playing against Chelsea in a FA Cup final, then you're crazy. It's not the same thing, bro. A final will always
the game against Man City is probably more pressure than the Chelsea
Absolutely not. A final.
Are you crazy?
Pressures.
The game against Manchester City does not have pressure.
Did I say that?
Okay, let me.
Okay, I will not put words in your
What's
mouth.
the question?
It does not have equal
Egal.
pressure to the Chelsea games
What's
and
the
the
question,
cups.
AK?
Absolutely not, because cup finals will
Wallahi,
always,
you're crazy.
finals will always come with their own pressure, bro. And so Mohamed Salah, in those big moments, whether it's a
You're
final or not,
mad.
in those big moments when you need to walk away with a trophy, this man cannot step up, bro. Yesterday,
But
you
Liverpool
look
against
at
City
those
is
chances,
a higher
you look
pressure
at
game than
Sam,
the FA Cup, the
it's,
Carabao
I
Cup.
I don't think it is. But
Yes, it
yesterday,
is.
you can say that, but yesterday you look at the chances that he had. You can tell me the keeper was amazing. He should have scored at least one of them.
I
The one
agree.
where-
I agree. The keeper should have scored. I agree. He should have
So
scored.
you can't
I'm
tell me
not
he had a
denying
good
it.
game. You can't tell me he had a good game.
I never said he had a
chances.
good game.
But okay, so what did he do yesterday then? Apart from missed chances, what else did he do?
He was, in my opinion, just a part of the 10 other players on the pitch who were not good, excluding Konate.
And who
He's
did
the
those
only one who's
chances
good.
fall
I
to?
said it.
Who did those chances fall to yesterday?
The chances fell to Mane, it fell to Diaz, it
Who
fell
did
to
Liverpool?
Mo.
Okay, sorry, let me rephrase that since we want to be. Who did Liverpool's best chances fall to yesterday?
Sadio Mane got to the opportunity in the first half. Courtois saved it.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz should have scored the header far post. Amazing cross from Trent.
Okay, so who did the
Naby
best chance
Keita's
of the
pigeon
game?
shooting shot
Who did the
was
best
probably
chance of the game?
the
fall to?
Naby Keita one. I could genuinely argue was the best chance we got
You're
because he
trying to
had about
moonwalk
5
away
seconds
from
to take a
my
touch and
point.
then
You're
shoot.
trying to move. Who did the best chance of the game fall to?
Sadio Mane.
Mohamed Salah in front of that
Yeah,
goal.
there's a better chance
Come
of
on,
Mo
bro.
Salah signing a contract than this guy admitting this, bro. Let's
Sam,
move it on, bro.
Anyways, all right, Sam, go on, Daps.
I'm not saying anything
Now,
crazy.
do you want to do the
be
super
honest.
chats,
The
bro?
Mane
Let's
chance
do.
was
Do the
do
super chat,
yeah.
bro.
But please let me land afterwards, quick, and then
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
shut
gonna
up.
let Dabs go and Alan in a second. I'm just gonna read
Yeah,
the two
do the
super
super
chats.
chat,
I've been
man.
waiting
I put a
patiently.
question out in the chat. Has Liverpool's season been a failure? Yes. You could either say yes or you could say no because they won 2 trophies and they challenged. But anyways, let's go. Doc LFC says you're right. AK a loud voice said NFT's good. What?
NFT is good enough. Is that
That's
the
the,
midfield,
that's the
innit? The
nickname they
midfield.
gave to Liverpool's midfield.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't
That's
know that.
Keita, Fabinho, and Thiago, basically.
And then Carefree Lewis, you're a dickhead for this one, bro.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ken
my guy.
I'll remember that on
Yes,
Thursday,
my guy,
brother.
Lewis.
I will remember that on Thursday, bro.
He said
Happy
he
Baku Day.
he said happy Baku Day, Egal, and happy Porto Day to you, Daps. But yeah, anyways, he's literally a dickhead for that. But yo, big up to everyone in the chat. We have over 240 people in the chat. Smash that like button right now. Give the support to all the people and let us know what you guys thought about the game. We're gonna now go over to you, Daps. What are you saying, bro?
And firstly, people, if you want me to shut up, get the likes to 100, and then I'll instantly, the minute it gets to 100, I'll shut up. Now, just to go back on that last point, I kind of agree. I don't think we should be judging players on individual games in that. But after our Real Madrid game, one game, everyone was coming and Husam, you were there in the spaces. You were pitching in, bro. Everyone was going at De Bruyne talking about big games I said, yeah, but in the semi-final, he like controlled the whole game against Atletico. And started listening. Everyone's like, yeah, all right, but it's all about what about the second leg? So everyone else wants to do it. If he doesn't score something in one game, people want to call out City players. So I do get what AK's saying. Now, I'm not saying I would call out Salah based on yesterday, yeah, but I probably would call him out on the business end of the season because he's been stinking for a minute, bro, and it's the business end of the season. But I really don't want to continue with that. What I do want to say is I'm not even going to come at Liverpool, yeah, because look, for me, they've challenged in the they've got to the Champions League final. For me to come on here and start talking about the Champions League, yeah, I'm asking for smoke. Yeah, you see the badge there. For me to talk on that right now, I'm asking for smoke. I know my place, and right now the Champions League's not something I'm going to talk about. So the same way, I hope that Liverpool fans will remember that when it comes to the Premier League, yeah. And kind of they won't. We know they won't. But this is why. What happened yesterday?
We've won it though.
There we go. This is a prime example. Let me finish it, Sam. Right. So what happened yesterday is this is the first season that Liverpool have honestly tried to compete in 4 competitions. Yeah. Right. Welcome to our fucking world. That's what we've done for the past 5 seasons under Pep Guardiola. Yeah. We've won 4 Premier Leagues. We've retained it twice. We've got 100 points. We've done a domestic double. We've done a domestic treble. We've reached the final of the Champions League. We've reached the semi-final of the Champions League. We've reached 3 quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yeah. But guess what? Sometimes mentally and physically, when you are trying to compete in that many games, it impacts you. And that's what I saw on Liverpool yesterday. For me, the last couple of weeks, Liverpool have looked mentally and physically different to the rest of the season. Yeah. So I just want people to put that little bit more respect now, Liverpool fans in particular, on what Pep is doing at Manchester City, competing season in, season out in every single trophy. Because now you lot have witnessed what it's done. By you going in those extra couple of games and maybe the cup competitions, it's impacted you in the two most important trophies. Furthermore, I will say it's a good season because you still competed in all of them. And you actually picked up 2 trophies that Klopp needed as well. So... And finally, on that, when people want to say Liverpool nearly did the quad, if we want to do nearlies, last season, if it wasn't for, I believe it was Chelsea in the Champions League final and Chelsea in the semi-final, we were the same, bro. We were the same.
Say what?
But I'm never going to... Right, we did 2. Premier League, we won.
I'm joking, Daps.
All right, you know what I mean. So, but again, I will say, I'm not going to come on here and diss Liverpool because they've reached another Champions League final. I just think they need to realise, that is what happens and put some respect on Pep and City's name, that when you're competing on all these fronts, it's difficult.
I can't believe we're going to give a team that apparently has the best goalkeeper in the world, the best centre back in the world, the best right back in the world, the best CDM in the world, the best centre mid in the league, the best right wing in the league, the best left wing in the league, one of the best on what at one point.
We don't have a bigger listen. Biggest squad is bollocks. Go and check it out before you write those things. Go and check out squad size.
At one point, they had the top 3 goal scorers in the league. You're telling me we're going to sit here, we're going to give that team a pass, or we're going to give them a bit of credit because what they competed. They walked away with a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, bro. I'll be real with you. Chelsea, if you look at what Chelsea walked away with, I could tell you, Chelsea walked away with a better season than them, bro. Like it's irrelevant, man. A team at that level, Sam is absolutely right in what he said yesterday in his post game video. A team of this quality should be winning the Premier League or the Champions League. Everything else is a bonus, and there's nothing wrong with getting bonuses, but they have to walk away with either a Prem or a Champ at the end of the season. And because they haven't, it's a failure, and they flopped it, bro. Let's be real.
Participation awards. Wow, Alan, go ahead, bro. You've waited long enough.
There's a difference between failure and flopped it. We haven't flopped it. What is a failure?
You flopped it and failed, bro.
You can't flop something that's not in your hands.
You have flopped it and failed. That's what your club has been.
You guys just love drawing false equivalence.
That's what your club has been.
I have someone telling me 1 equals 0, then the other guy telling me flopped it. Bro, the Premier League was never in our hands. How did you flop it?
Man, I don't want to hear it, man. Like,
okay, tell the people. How did we flop it?
Whose fault is that the Premier League was not in your hands, though?
What does this Liverpool team do apart from compete with City?
Mojo, you're arguing something.
I don't want to hear it, man.
He said we flopped
it. Your question, bro.
You flopped something that's in your hands. 18-19, Liverpool flopped the league. Why? Because Liverpool were ahead of Manchester City and they won the league by a point. That's what's called flop the league. When you're in second place, you cannot flop something from second place. That logic dictates. I know your logic is not logic in today, AK. Logic dictates that when you're in second place, you can't flop something. You flop from first place, not from second. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's a failure does not equal that we bottled or we flopped something. Those are 2 different conversations. So yeah.
Okay.
Go on, Alan. Sorry. Sorry, it's been 45 minutes. Some people want to speak for 28 of them.
I didn't. Just before Alan goes, I'm going to tell you guys, keep smashing that like button, guys. We're almost at 100 likes. Shout out to you guys. And just so you know, Manchester United and Chelsea spent more times at the top of the league, more days at the top of the league than Liverpool this season. So people saying Liverpool were at the top of the league.
Just so you know, you lost to Spurs 3-0 and bottled the top 4.
Bro, I'm just pointing out a fact.
No problem. I'm pointing out the fact as well.
We've been top since game week 15.
You lost 3-0 to your biggest rival. So, and now you have to. Whoa! That's what you have to listen to next.
It helps your point. It helps your
point. You
bantered
AK all year, and now you're in the same competition. Just so you know, I'm just pointing out.
You should have been that nice to me. I'm not going to be last year.
Liverpool did not beat the top 3 team mentality monsters. Is that true? You didn't beat City, Chelsea, or
they didn't beat us either.
And you didn't beat Tottenham also. So you didn't beat any team in the top 4.
It's a mutual one.
Yeah, but they didn't beat us either. So where do we go from here?
It's mutual.
You know, one of them stats. I can literally flip this on you. Do you know that none of the big? One sec, Mojo. Do you know that the 3 clubs in the top 4 did not beat Liverpool this season? The same thing I can do with Chelsea. Klopp hasn't beaten Tuchel in 90 minutes. Did you know that Tuchel has not beaten Klopp in 90 minutes? Pointlessstats.com. Go ahead, Alan.
Alan, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so before I get started,
that
I need to
website
address
doesn't
some...
exist. I just want to let you know.
110 likes and Alan will stop. Go.
No, I won't stop.
Alan
Shit.
will never stop. Big up.
So I have to
Big
address
up,
some
Alan.
comments. I have to address some comments because I haven't even spoken and people are putting stuff in there. So Mr. Bungle, I think your name is, doing your little cheerleader. What do we think of Spurs? I don't care what you think of Spurs. I won't be thinking of your club when I'm in the Champions League next season. So be quiet, please. Blake Hernandez. No, I won't think Luis Diaz will be. I don't think Luis Diaz is the best player because I wouldn't swap him for Kulusevski. So that's that. And somebody said I had a smug face when I've been sitting there saying nothing. So I don't know what being smug about. But
You
Well,
always have a
man.
smug face, bro.
Alan,
You're
they
always
want you
got a
full
smug
screen.
face.
They want you full
This
screen.
is the Alan show anyway.
no. Take me off full screen.
Yes.
Take me off
Go
full
on,
screen.
Alan.
Alan show.
So first of all, I will apologise.
Requesting it, Alan.
No,
Guys,
well,
send the
first-
super chat, put screen Alan, and we'll do it.
No.
You literally have 10
So
seconds.
First of all, I would like to apologise to Real Madrid. I've done them a disservice. So I said that Liverpool would be too much for them. Turns out Liverpool didn't do nowhere near as much as what City or Chelsea did to them because at least they scored past them. Yeah, it's true. I will say this. I've heard Liverpool fans during spaces today and also on here name the same players to scapegoat other players. I'm sorry, the worst three players last night for Liverpool were Sadio Mane, didn't show up, and then all of a sudden it drops that he's now leaving. I wonder why. Did he really put the effort in last night? Probably not. Van Dijk giving me Maguire and Mings vibes. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And Dyer has actually been better than that this season, so I can't even go on Dyer, and I hate Dyer as a defender for Spurs. Doing what he done, it looked like Bambi at the back there. And then for the love of Christ, I cannot understand Liverpool fans. Alexander-Arnold lost his man at the back post. He was looking around, where's Vinicius and all that? Vinicius was in his pockets, taking his lunch money and all that, pulling his pants down, and then he scored the goal to go on and win the thing. And all you do is say about, Husam, you said earlier on, you blame Robson for that, but you said about, Alexander-Arnold.
No, I didn't blame Robson. I blamed all three.
Yep, okay. You never said Alexander-Arnold. You said about Alexander-Arnold, great cross. But Alexander-Arnold was one of your biggest problems at the back. He was also always losing Vinicius Junior all the time. He is your problem in defence because he is always out of sync with a thing like that because he does what Kyle Walker does, uses his pace, but he's not as good as a defender as Kyle Walker, and Kyle Walker isn't a great defender. Simple as. Trust me, I know he used to be at Spurs and all that. I'm sorry, but Liverpool didn't do anything in that cup final. You say about having like 9 shots. Yeah. Oh, look at him. Yeah, I saw that. He watched them and then walked away. You had 9 shots on them and you didn't score. Courtois, people saying he had an amazing game. Like quite a few of them shots were actually quite simple. Like the great save in the second half was when he with the arm and flicked out past the crossbar. Didn't think he had that. I'm sorry, but Liverpool, it was good in competing and all that. But what do you say about other teams and all that? About flopping, Husam, and then when people say about your team flopping, you get all defensive. I'm sorry, you have to come in and take it as you see it. You got really defensive with AK.
I'm literally taking it as we speak.
No, because you get defensive.
You have to come in and take it.
No.
Spaces, this stream, about 3 streams on my channel.
Husam, you don't. Shush.
If I wanted to hide, I would have hid. My cat really is sick. My imaginary cat. So.
Husam, I didn't say anything like that. And you do the same thing. When people bring up things you don't like, you do get defensive and do try and cut people off from talking. At the end of the day, you won 2 trophies. That's absolutely, that's great and everything like that. You're going for the quad. I said you'd win 3, and I said you'd back Real Madrid. Real Madrid looked more comfortable against you than they did against City and Chelsea at certain points and all that. And that's embarrassing considering you are meant to be one of the best teams.
Your word of the season is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
That word.
It was embarrassing. So for me, Sadio Mane, his head wasn't there. His head wasn't there last night because Sadio Mane was the worst player on that pitch by a clear mile. And in a cup final and all that, to have one of your best players. And the thing is, I love that putting a bid for Son this summer. Are you crazy? You ain't getting him? Kane, you getting him? You come to work for Spurs players.
There's something crazy. Apparently, we're interested in Kane as well.
Embarrassing.
Impossible. Just.
Egal, I have to respond. I have to respond. Just in 30 seconds. Alan, first of all, I said the goal. You can go back, you can watch my videos. I don't know if I've said it here or not, so I'm not going to lie. The goal, Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent are all to blame. Trent is not exempt from blame. He is to blame, but he's not the sole blame. That's number one.
No, he's not the sole blame, but he
Yeah,
takes a large
that's what
portion
I'm
of it
saying,
at
but
back.
he is to blame 100%.
A large portion at the back.
I disagree on large portion because Van Dijk's defending needs to be so much better.
For that one goal,
Robertson
he was
needs to close down
working,
Van
but for all that game, Alexander
I'm not
Arnold
gonna
was
lie
that
to you guys.
position.
Okay, but anyway, listen. And the second thing is, Alan, I am not saying that we have succeeded this season. I'm not. What I'm saying is when we're using the word flop, for example, this season, Arsenal flopped. Why did Arsenal flop? Because they were fourth. Top four was in their hands and they flopped it to Spurs. The point I'm making is a very crystal clear point. In order for you to flop / bottle something, it needs to be in your hand. If Liverpool were first going into the last 2-3 games and then we lost the league, 100% we flopped it. And I said already,
I think
18, 19,
flopping and
but when something, Egal, please, I'm landing in 10 seconds. But when something's outside of your hand, you cannot flop it. You flop something that's in your hand. We needed Aston Villa to get a result against Man City. How is that us flopping it? We didn't flop it. City won it. So, yeah.
flopping and bottling is two completely different things.
Can we just go back to the final? Hold on, pre-final.
Okay, we don't want to hear it from
This
the
is a
point.
massive thing that I actually forgot to mention. Pre-final, when it was who do Liverpool want in the final? Man City or Madrid? Everyone was saying Madrid and all that, and all the way before that game, all it was 3-0s, 4-1s for Liverpool and all that. You were completely disregarding Real Madrid. Loads of your fan base was, we're going to smash them. It's going to be easy and all that, and you did nothing. You did nothing. You're welcome.
Okay, just so we could do this, because I feel like they're not getting enough credit on the stream. I'm not going to spend the whole stream just bantering Liverpool. Let's actually say it as it is. Thibaut Courtois played for Atletico Madrid in the final against Real Madrid, lost. This man left Chelsea, got no respect from the journalists. When he arrived at Real Madrid, he was sitting on the bench for Carlo Neves, and Madrid fans weren't even rating him at the time. And this now he shows up in the Champions League finals, gets 9 saves. Gets a 9.5 performance out of 10. Absolutely kills it. Stood on his head. Without him, they don't. Without
9.5 is overgassing him. To be fair.
Without him, they don't win that game. Let's be honest. He made the most saves. He made the most saves in the Champions League final. And as somebody said earlier, he said he needs to put respect on his name. Another person, Carlo Neves. Sorry, not Carlo. Why did I say? Who am I talking about?
Who? I don't know.
Carvajal, Danny Carvajal. Before the game, people said Danny Carvajal was going to get destroyed. The same way people said Trent was going to get destroyed by Vinicius, they said Danny Carvajal was going to get destroyed by thing, and he did his job. He made sure that Luis Diaz was kept in check. We spoke about the game before the game. I did a combined 11, and I thought Fabinho was better than Casemiro. Today, Casemiro showed me that I don't watch enough Real Madrid, and I should put more respect on his name. And he's definitely one of the better players. That midfield trio, as AK said, the only midfield trio that I could think of that's better than them that I've watched in my lifetime, I would have to say is Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. Those are the only guys that come close to Madrid.
I think they match up to them almost as well. It's not the gap ain't that big.
We're gonna talk about that. And then
there's a super chat you might want to put up as well, by the way.
I'm gonna get that. Big up, Big Steve. He says, forget it. What?
Formidables.
Come on, Big Steve,
Forget
man.
it.
Okay.
It's been on smoke today. Listen, anyone that wants to see Liverpool slander, just head over to Big Steve on Instagram because he's been on absolute smoke today. To be fair, United have got it as well.
I'm a DM you about this on Instagram.
Guys. Almost done. Benzema has officially, in my opinion, has 2 hands on that Ballon d'Or. It's done. No discussion. There's no debate.
He had 2 hands on before the final, bro.
Then you have. I just want to give some honorable mentions and shout outs to some people. First of all, without Rodrigo doing what he did against Man City, they don't even get to this final. Certain players.
Didn't he score against Chelsea as well?
I'm not even trying.
I think he did.
I'm not even trying to make fun of Man City.
No. I'm saying he also scored in the quarters against Chelsea an important goal.
I think he did.
It's relevant, right. Man. Yeah. it is relevant. He's
Egal, you're such an asshole sometimes.
Modric. I'm literally not even trying to slander.
I promise you, he did that on purpose. I promise
Why?
you.
bro.
I promise you. Daps, look into the camera. He did that on purpose.
Bro,
100%.
I already told him we got
There is
twice
no
as many
way
Premier
he
Leagues
did
as
that
them
by
man now, so
mistake.
it is what
There
it
is
is.
no way he did that by mistake.
Okay. Let's keep it moving. Then I just want to give out some honorable mentions and shout outs. This player doesn't play much. He doesn't play much for Real Madrid. But I just want to give him a shout out. This guy, his story is so crazy. I read about it the other day, and I just found it so amazing. If you guys don't know, Camavinga's story is ridiculous. The man was living in refugee camps, had no family, no support from anybody, and now is a professional footballer winning the Champions League with Real Madrid. These are the kind of stories that just goes to show you anything is possible in life as long as you have the perseverance and you fight for yourself.
Facts.
And
Yeah,
these are the kind of stories that you hear that come out of these situations that make me look at it and be like, you know what, that's amazing. Also, Marcelo retiring as the greatest ever Real Madrid player or the most successful ever Real Madrid player based on trophies won.
Yeah,
and
it's not him on the touchline as
I'm
well.
going to finish it off with this. At the beginning of the season, wallahi, I did not believe in football heritage. I did not believe in football heritage. I did not believe that a team's heritage and that. But now that I'm seeing Real Madrid win more Champions League since the year 2000 than any other club in football, just goes to show you.
Listen,
I'd
heard of it. I've heard of it. I've believed it because I was thinking there must be a reason why we're not getting over the line in the Champions League. But I'm with you. Being at the Bernabeu and witnessing it, like that comeback was just, it tells you there's certain clubs that just know.
Except for Carvajal and Marcelo, because you already spoke about.
It's not even the defenders. There's one man that still hasn't. I don't think I've heard his name said, and if I did miss it, I apologize. That's Don Carlo Ancelotti.
Amen, bro.
Oh, we haven't spoken about him. That's true.
Did you see? Did you see him dancing with the players as well?
Oh my god!
Smoking that Liverpool pack.
Bro, the guy's
man,
got rhythm,
did
man.
you see that cigar picture? Listen,
yeah, smoking that Liverpool pack.
He is the coolest. Like, honest to God,
old man. He's the coolest granddad you've ever met.
He's the coolest old man I have ever seen in my life, bro. That man stood down the touchline and he didn't sweat a bit while his team was on their way to winning the Champions League the whole time. But what's that?
And imagine he managed Everton 18 months ago.
Where is he legacy-wise?
Oh, he's up there.
High,
no,
man.
I'm sorry. People will talk about his league titles, but when you can bring 5 Champions Leagues to the table, or is it 4 or 5, whatever it is?
I think whatever it is,
I think it's 4. It's 4. Yeah, it's still more than anyone else. When you can bring that many amount of Champions Leagues to the table, I can dismiss the 5 league titles that you've won. This man at his age has had the whole of the footballing world doubting him tactically, saying, oh, maybe tactically he's not there by playing people like Cruz instead of starting Camavinga. They were saying he's too much in love with the old guard and he needs to let that go, otherwise he won't be successful. Was it 2 months ago on this very show, we were talking about the manager merry-go-round and we were saying he might be involved if he's going to get sacked from Real Madrid. He's gone and he's given them their 3rd double, and understand this, for a team that has won the Champions League 4 times, he's given them their 3rd ever double ever. This is the 3rd time they've ever won a double of a league and a Champions League. They don't do that often. People need to understand. Madrid struggle in the league. Like Barca, it's when you think about it, it's fucking incredible. What is it? AC Milan twice, and then
this is a thing at AK as well. Yeah, is that it's across multiple different clubs at multiple different times. Yeah, that. Like, I will say what he shows is he can work with what he's got. The one time, like, he's actually not worked with what he's got might have been at Everton, and that didn't work. Yeah. But when he just goes somewhere, he can look at it is, but he can go there. He can look at the players and he can make the most of the players he's got. And
one thing he's
and the other thing, this is not the best Real Madrid as well. May I add?
The one thing he's always been able to do as well, to give him credit, is get the best out of attackers. If you know Carlo Ancelotti, you will know when attackers play under him, they have their best seasons. He's phenomenal in the use of forward players, and he's shown that again this year by giving Karim Benzema his best ever year in terms of as a forward.
What a guy, man! Where
does he sit at the table with Jose, Pep,
smoking that Liverpool pack,
and these guys? Where does he rank?
You know what? For me, like, let's wait till them lot finish their. Like, it's the same with players. When people are trying to have these conversations about players, like at the moment, definitely, unfortunately, because of that performance last night, I'm screwing that all summer I'm going to start to hear conversations about Trent versus based off of that performance yesterday. How about we just wait till players and managers finish their career? Because at the moment, he's got 4 Champions Leagues, yeah, and however many leagues across multiple leagues. It makes it very difficult to put Klopp, Pep, a lot of other managers in there because they're still going. They've probably still got 10, 15 years, whereas he's probably got, 2, 3 years left in him. But based on his trophies...
23 trophies, and these guys above him have ridiculous.
I mean, listen.
wow.
Obviously, big up Valerie and big up my guy with the 35. But yeah, man, hold that. Take a back seat. Jockstein, you know what I'm saying? Take a back seat as well. Otmar, take a back seat as well. And then the rest of those, in my opinion, the only thing that changes in the order is Jose Mourinho jumps to second. So it's Ferguson, Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, and then Carlo Ancelotti.
I think that's disrespectful. I think Carlo.
Can you put it up again? Egal, who's the guy in second?
Let me show you again.
Yeah, I was thinking that. If I'm
the man there stop at the trophies in Russia, man.
This guy won trophy.
Yeah.
Now I want to see his name. Sorry, what's his name?
Turkey as well, by the way.
He won
Oh well, fuck me. That changes everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turkey's
Who
just
the
a
fuck
poor
is this
chicken.
guy?
Turkey and Russia.
He managed in Turkey, Russia, and Ukraine.
Okay, big up Lucasescu, man.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah,
Big
these
up,
are,
man.
and Carlo Ancelotti is
No,
the
but
only
this I'm against graphics like this because the weight of trophy matters as well. Like you cannot just
Yeah, it does.
you know
Otherwise,
respectfully.
we
The
would be
problem
coming
is
for
with
Klopp.
this. The problem is when you just add trophies together.
Daps' response when I said Mourinho second. I think we actually need to have a sit down. Obviously, it's the summer; we have a lot of time. We need to actually have a sit down and
Yeah, we
speak
probably do. To be
on this
fair,
manager because
it's just
Daps'
because he
response
flops.
there
No,
sounds.
it's when you start flopping. If he should have retired, man. But then
Can I
saying
show
that
you
he's
guys
going to
another
got the
graphic?
conference. So
Can I show you guys another graphic? This
Graphs with
this
the Egal never end.
Graphs with a gal.
This is actually
Bro, if
crazy.
you don't have like a segue of graphs with Egal, then like we're all disappointed. I'm speaking.
Hey,
from
next
our-
season,
I'm
man,
gonna
next
make
season.
it. I'm gonna make it, but I'm trying to figure out copyright. But when it comes to
I'll sing the song for you, so there's no.
Again, where were you graphs when you bottled top 4?
1 second.
Damn.
It's him.
Damn.
I did have graphs, Alan, but your head.
All the clubs here, even with yesterday's loss, wish they were us.
Before
Six
your
Champions
ass,
League.
got to see
Big
it.
up,
I
man.
could never wish I was you, bro. Never.
Can I just show you guys something?
6 Champions League. Let's go.
Real Madrid since the year 2000 have won more Champions Leagues than every other team in football. That's crazy.
No way.
That is relevant. You know why that's relevant as well, though? Because when we talk about how many they've won, the first thing most people go to is, oh, yeah, but they won a few of them when you were only having to play certain teams, which is true. But then if you take that away, the fact you've just said that in our lifetime, ultimately, they're
They've
so ahead of
dominated it,
everyone
man.
else,
They've dominated.
It's crazy how from like the year I think it was 2000. I think it was 2002 when Zidane scored the goal against Bayer Leverkusen. That was 2002, right? Yeah, 2002. From 2002 till La Decima, they went, I think, 12 years without winning the Champions League. And then in the space of the next 10 years, they've won 5, is it? The 3 back-to-back, the La Decima and this one. 5 and 10 after going 10 without. It's mental, bro. It's mental.
It's because they were rebuilding, bro. That was it, innit? Like at the beginning of the 2010.
No, but they still had great teams, bro. Arjen Robben, Cannavaro, Schneider was on one team, and they still did win it.
They did, but like honestly, once this rebuild happened, bro. Honestly, this team was definitely destined to do shit like this.
Yeah. Oh my god. Did you guys see the picture of Mbappe when he signed for PSG? They're like, that's what he was doing when he was watching Real Madrid win.
Nah, that guy made the wrong decision.
Was Ronaldo at the was Ronaldo?
No, he made the
Really good, bro. He made the right decision.
He made the right decision, guys. But why do we do
His
this?
age, he's come on, bro. He's made the right decision 100%.
Oh,
man.
no,
He owns half of a football club. For fuck's
No, it's
sake.
not just money-wise, guys. You have to look at it this way. We've just spoken about the fact that Real Madrid have 14 Champions Leagues. Imagine a PSG is out here with no Champions Leagues. He wins them their first one. That is historic. But he's got 3 years to make that happen.
Yeah,
It's never gonna happen, but I hear you.
No, but that to me is historic, isn't it? Like he can make something like that happen, and he's in the history books.
Listen, we need to cover this sometime in the summer, Mojo, because we have fuck all to talk about. So.
Someone tweeted out that this is what he was doing watching the game last night.
Bro, man. That guy, the amount of money coming his way, bro. He did not give a fuck about a Champions League final that he's not in, man.
No, I don't.
You think so?
But,
Nah, he
but
doesn't, bro. Bro,
but
he's
big up-
only
big
young,
up
man.
to-
He's gonna get in more of them.
Bro,
gonna get
he's out here making boardroom decisions, bro. What are we talking about, man?
Yeah,
He's
man.
decided who's gonna be the next manager and shit. Bro.
Listen,
He's the real LeBron James of soccer.
big up to the
Okay.
actual Don of football as well. Did you not see? And this guy is such a dickhead. Did you not see what Perez said after the game yesterday as well? Where he said,
Oh,
Mbappe?
fuck Perez, man.
He said,
Sorry,
Mbappe?
fuck that
He
guy.
said, we've moved past that, bro. We're talking about
Oh,
European
Lord.
champions. He said, we don't care about that shit anymore. He said, that's in
He's
the
the
past.
only reason I wasn't happy for Real Madrid yesterday.
How
I
can you not
fucking
like
hate that
Perez,
guy,
man? How can you
Nah,
not
man.
like Florentino, man?
Oh, Madrid zone.
Oh,
was
guy's
put
a
in
dick, man. I hate
yesterday.
him.
It was moving mad. But yo, I want to talk about one more thing, guys. There seems to be a transfer merry-go-round that's been triggered by Liverpool and Sadio Mane. It looks like Sadio Mane might be leaving Liverpool to go to
Oh,
Bayern.
great. Thanks, Egal.
He might be leaving to go to Bayern Munich, and that will trigger.
Brother,
Gnabry-
it's 1:10 a.m. How long do you want to talk on the 10?
I'm just saying, if you guys want to end it here, you can end it here. But I'm just saying, anyone want
No,
to
listen.
He wants to get this in. No,
Two shows a week. 2 shows a week. We've got lots.
Egal wants to get this in because it's in that
I'm just
going
gonna
back
say
to Arsenal. That's why he
I'm
wants
just
to get
gonna
this
say
in.
this.
Listen, I think we should do a transfer.
Gnabry
I think we
comes
should
back
do
to
a
Arsenal, it's
transfer
gonna be
rumor
because
show.
of-
We
Twice
should
a
do a
week.
transfer rumor show on Thursday, and this is the Champions League show. Let's just end it off there, lads. You know, if we get into transfers, we're
I
going to be
think
here
that's a
for
really good
another
idea.
hour.
We do a transfer.
you're
We
right.
do a transfer show once a week, and then the other one we do like a player of the year, or
Whatever it
them
is,
type
one
of
of
vibe.
Awards
Yeah.
show.
Because remember, we
team of
still
the
have
season.
the
God.
Premier League Player of the Year. We still have the World Team of the Year to do. We have the Players of the Season. All of that junk to do as well.
We can do a couple drafts as well.
Yeah, and I really want to do this managerial discussion with you guys as well, because I think that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it will
when
be
people
good.
put
Yeah, it
certain
will be good.
managers.
You know
So-
what? The best thing to do, anybody who's watching this right now, give us suggestions of what you'd want us to
Yeah,
cover
man.
during the summer in the comment section
Be-
right now.
Before we go,
Afterwards.
the people in the comments that have cried, "Oh, but Spurs can't comment because they've won no trophies." I don't give a shit. I will give my opinion on football. Cry.
Hey,
more in the comments. I don't
Modric
give
has won a
shit.
few, and them men will claim that, innit? They'll claim Modric.
I'll claim it. I don't give a shit. Just get on with it. And Damon earlier on, why are Spurs here? It's 5 from the 6 because it's the big 6 in the Premier League, which is Spurs. If you count the boxes, there's 6 boxes and there's 6 fans. Would you like a calculator, Damon? Go home. Seriously, it's embarrassing.
Plus, they beat you 3-0 and they finished fourth. So you can
Anyways, anybody have anything else to say before we go?
Hey,
No,
football
bro.
has been saved. Football has
And-
been
and I
saved,
hope-
No,
man.
I
everyone-
actually have one thing. Go on, Daps.
Look, I hope everyone. I don't know if you lot have seen what happened at St. Etienne tonight. If you haven't, go
Oh
and
yeah,
check it out,
Yeah.
please.
flipping heck.
Fucking madness. I mean, I hope no one's been hurt in that, innit? Because it did look mad. It looked like it could have got a lot worse as well before we came live. So that's it. And fuck UEFA as well, by the way. Again, fuck UEFA.
Let's get it. Let's get
Play
it.
the
out.
outro video. I have something to say over the outro.
Hazard won Champions League as well, guys. He's won the Champions League.
All the way to Paris to end up in defeat.
Oh, he's done.
You
Right.
lost
in the
9-0
stands.
to your biggest rival.
Stranded in the streets.
Salah scored 2 goals.
Salah missed his chances. Victims of their own.
9
Berlin
goals
won the
conceded
league. And the
against
Scousers won
Liverpool.
fuck all.
Allez, allez, allez.